thank Secretary Donovan for sharing the vision and the commitment he has to really invest in our neighborhoods and making sure people are able to stay in their homes, keep their homes, particularly veterans. And here in Jacksonville, we're committed to making sure that people stay in their home, having safe neighborhoods, and really working with all the stakeholders to take Jacksonville to the next level. With that, I'd like to bring up our good Secretary, Shaun Donovan. Let's give him a hand this evening.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. And let me start by just saying thank you to Mayor Brown. I don't need to tell you, but I will tell you, you are so lucky to have a mayor who is moving this city forward, moving this city to the next level in so many ways. And I just want to congratulate you, Mayor Brown, for the remarkable work that you've done in a short period. Now, I also don't need to tell you how hard hit Jacksonville and the entire state of Florida have been by this housing crisis. This state has almost half of its homeowners, almost half, underwater in their mortgages. But what we talked about this morning is how, with the leadership of Mayor Brown, with the leadership of so many of the folks, the stakeholders that came together today here, with the leadership of Wealth Watchers and the work that they're doing to connect families to the help that's available, we are making real progress. And the families of Jacksonville have a reason to be optimistic about the future of this city and of this housing market. Remember where we were when the president took office. Losing over 750,000 jobs a month, record foreclosures each and every month. Today, we can say that we've created almost 4 million jobs just in the last 2 years, and we've seen the number of families falling into foreclosure cut more than in half. So we are making progress. Almost 6 million families that have had their mortgages modified since the president came into office. But we cannot stop now. We have to keep pushing forward, and that's what this roundtable was about this morning, is what new things are we doing in the Obama administration that are available, and how do we make sure that they touch families here in Jacksonville, that they get real help to families and neighborhoods as quickly as possible. All the programs in the world, all the efforts in the world won't make a difference if we don't connect these to families on the ground that need the help. That's why I'm here today with Mayor Brown. That's why I'm here with Wealth Watchers and all of the other stakeholders that are here, counseling agencies, legal services, realtors, union members, others who have a way to reach out to folks. We need to make sure that families know that help is available, that they can pick up the phone, call the help hotline, 888-995-HOPE. They can go to the HUD website and find a HUD-approved housing counselor. We have too many families that are paralyzed by the embarrassment of being behind on their mortgages, of not being able to pay their bills because they've lost their job. We have too many families that are scared to reach out because they're getting 5 or 6 calls a week from scam artists saying, just pay me a few $1,000s and I'll help you with your mortgage. Families need to know that help is available free of charge. So the first thing that we really focused on and talked about is what we can do to help families benefit from these record low interest rates that we have, the lowest interest rates in this country in half a century. And yet too many families across Florida can't benefit because they're underwater or they haven't been able to. So last summer, the president said, we can't wait for Congress. I'm going to take steps within the administration to make sure that these families can refinance. And so we started making changes for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac homeowners. Those changes went into effect starting at the beginning of this year, and already over 300,000 families have filed applications to be able to refinance. In addition, the president announced just a few weeks ago that we were eliminating upfront fees for refinancing for FHA homeowners and cutting the annual premium in half. Average savings for those families just from the fees is about $1,000 a year. If you add the interest rates, you're talking about more than $3,000 in savings. It is already starting to have an effect. Last month, across Florida, the number of refinances was up by 49% in 1 month, up 49%. So these changes are starting to have an effect. We have to make sure that they reach every family. But we also have to make sure of something else, and this goes to what Mayor Brown said. The average family doesn't know whether they have a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac or an FHA mortgage. All they know is that they're paying 6 or 7%, and if they could refinance, they could get a rate at 4%. They could save thousands of dollars a year. They don't want to know what kind of mortgage. They want that ability to refinance. And yet, we can't make that available to every homeowner in America unless Congress acts. That's why in his State of the Union address, the President stood up and urged Congress to make refinancing universal for underwater homeowners that are paying their mortgages. We need Congress to work with us to make this available to every homeowner that has done the right thing, paid their bills, and we can make sure that they can lower their bills by $3,000 a year. And it's not just good for those families. Let's remember, one of the biggest things that's holding this economy back is consumer spending. And another $3,000 a year in families' pockets is going to make sure that grocery stores and restaurants and all the small businesses that drive this neighborhood and every Jacksonville neighborhood are thriving. And so this is something that we can do to boost the economy over.
Oftentimes it's confusing for a family, and that's why calling the HOPE hotline is so important. You can get access to a counselor who knows all the different efforts that are available, that can figure out what the challenges a particular family is facing. Some may be unemployed, some may have gotten a bad mortgage. There may be different solutions available for different families depending on what situation they're in. A HUD-approved counselor, you can call the HOPE hotline, 888-995-HOPE, and figure out what's available for your specific situation.